All right, all right. So, first question: did you guys wake up at 4 a.m.? Where's the banana to the face?
Not over
Cold
here.
water. Step 2.
You gotta have bananas in the bathroom. Oh, did you notice the water? All that was like some bottled fancy water too, not just tap water. You know?
Well, this is brand deals now, so we got to stay on brand. We got to represent our partners correctly. These are brand deals, and stuff. And so, what's a brand that makes bananas or produces bananas?
Chiquita bananas. Yeah.
Is there a Whole Foods brand or a Rich Food brand bananas?
This is the way of life. This is the way of life. You find a banana sponsor to promote things that you're doing, or water sponsor.
Yeah. See, it just makes the whole working from home thing look bad a little bit. It just makes it because you hear about the CEOs now and they're all furious. Everyone come back to the office. This is unacceptable. And when this comes across his feed, I mean, I know you can fry an egg on their head after that.
So, well, actually, that's a good topic. How do you guys feel about the return to office initiative here?
You know what? For me, I think as long as folks are in the office, I like actually talking to people. I feel like actually when we actually went remote, I had to lean on completely different skill sets because a lot of my magic I feel like happens in person. Right.
No, we saw you get the oxtails. We know. We know. saw that in real
time. I'm very well socialized. Very well socialized. Yes.
Actually, no. Pause real quick. So pause real quick. Everything. So we did a. We met all person everything for to discuss the next season, the current season of the podcast, and things we want to do, things we want to make better, all the different things, stuff like that. And so, I'm essentially the host because we was in South Florida and everything. So I'm making sure, we all get around, good food, good restaurants, and things like that. Different places to visit, whatever. Maybe. Right. So, Sekou and his wife a couple years ago came and visit me. And everything, and so I'm familiar that Sekou loves Jamaican food and everything and stuff, and so I was like, Jamaican,
but
and so
I do love the food.
So he loves Jamaican food, and so in our area there is a Jamaican restaurant. I won't say the name, but there's a Jamaican restaurant where the food is good. The service not so much, and so. I've learned to adjust my expectations as I'm going into their establishment, and stuff, right? So we go in, and the first thing, Sekou wants oxtails and oxtails only.
Of course.
Why
would you go to a Jamaican restaurant and not get oxtails?
You got jerk chicken, you got rasta pasta. You got a few different options and everything for the Jamaican culture.
That's for the tourists.
So he goes in and he says, he wants the oxtail dinner and everything, and the lady says, we're out oxtails and everything. And so they have multiple locations.
And we're looking at the oxtails, by the way. We're looking at the tray of oxtails.
Yeah. Oh no. She said she didn't have enough to make. I think it was multiple dinners or one full dinner. So it's like that.
It's not enough for us. We're pretty big people.
Yeah. So it's like four. Right. It's like four of us and everything. And so it's the crew here and everything. And then it's a Jasmine too as well. And so we're like, all right, cool. So now kind of demeanor is down, because now it's on there. I come here. And so Sekou, I swear to you, I heard Chris Brown love songs in the background. Come on,
yeah, you heard that too, huh?
I just like a serenity change. Sekou voice shifts and everything, and then look, and then he slides up to the counter and just I come all the way from California just to have, so he kind of gets this Mac Daddy voice in real. And so the lady just kind of, she kind of looks at him. She's like, "Oh, you're from California?" And then you're like, "Yeah, I came all the way here, just to have this and stuff and everything." She said, "Okay," and everything. She looks at us and just completely ignores us. Like we don't we don't exist. Why are you with those guys? Like, you know what I mean? And so she gives Sekou what, 2 oxtails, 2, 3?
Yeah, it's like 2 or 3, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so she gives Sekou like 2 or 3 and just like a little sampler bowl, which they don't give samples, by the way, and everything. So it's like a little sampler bowl. And she was like, here you go, for free, everything, just because you came from California. And now Sekou is walking around like a 7-year-old on Christmas Day, just like.
We all hungry in the car. Thank you.
Got mine, gotta get yours.
Yeah. So now we know.
And this is a good commercial. LinkedIn. This is a great reason why an opportunity from coming back to office could be a good thing. You could just go for lunch, get some oxtails, and stuff. And so,
that's true.
You can't do that over Zoom. That's one thing you can't do. You cannot coax people into giving you oxtails right on the spot. Yeah.
That's hilarious, man. I think, were we supposed to talk about something else? I don't remember. We got over that.
I don't know, but might as well. Let's get it going.
Might as well. Let's get it going. All right, here we go. All right, guys, welcome back to AI with Friends, man. This is episode 5, season 2. I am your co-host in partnership with my guys, Adrian Green and Sekou Doumbouya. Oh wow, Sekou Doumbouya. Almost there. Doumbouya.
Whoa, there he is.
So hold on. Did you just do the wave of pronunciation and stuff with it?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Time twister there. Everything. So, guys, as you know, man, we like to have fun and everything and stuff, but also too, we like to discuss the things that we are seeing happening, implementing, building, since we are software engineers, practitioners, stuff in this AI-centric world that we are on a fast track to. Everything. And so I'm starting to believe that this treadmill that I described earlier or last episode is starting to kind of more be like a derby race. And so I'll look more into that and stuff later. Everything. So let's get started here. First topic, Otter. Otter has unveiled a new meeting voice agent designed to enhance productivity during virtual meetings. It said the voice-activated assistant can answer questions using a company historical data and perform tasks such as schedule follow-ups, draft emails through natural voice interactions. Initially available for Zoom and support for Microsoft Teams and Google Meet is forthcoming. Otter AI also plans to release a specialized agent for sales, marketing, recruitment in the future. Okay, I would like to start with this one. As you guys know, you've been watching, participating, subscribing, joining the Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord, like, what are we doing here? Like, come on. Why are you watching? Why are you listening if you guys haven't joined the Discord? Like, this is join the Discord. Anyway, so I had the privilege, went through from former employees to get access early to GPT-3, and so when I got access to GPT-3, we built basically one of the first AI grant writers on top of GPT-3 for the organization and stuff I was working with. And then from there, for me, I started just diving in. And so for me, I'm an individual where I build to learn. And I start to get an understanding. So I built multiple different things, something like this, but also like prompted PowerPoint, things like that. But I'm saying all to say, I built a version of this and demoed this at a conference of what was coming. And so it's always
what's the feeling?
It's heartwarming, but it's like, damn it, should I have built that fully, like into a full product service, type of thing? Because also too, the things that I built, I just knew in 45 days these companies are going to build the same thing, and we're talking about now almost 3 years later, they're just not fully building this out or anything. And so I showcased basically that this is what was going to happen. I would take it a step further. What's going to happen and stuff now, particularly when they said, it can reference historical meeting data and perform such tasks and everything. This is amplified. This is moving towards two things I've been talking about. The first thing is we're going to live in a AI-centric workforce where every employee will be assigned an AI agent to their job and everything. So you'll be handed your computer, your badge, and the AI agent and everything, and it's going to help you perform tasks better, or help you stay on brand, help you write in the company tone, all the different things like that, code, everything, all underneath, of how the company, structures their agent workflow. So then the other side of that too as well is it will for sure become a time where that same agent will have the ability to show up in meetings that you're not able to join. And it will basically be a sit-in as like a standalone just in case. And we also have the ability to give crucial updates if you've been double booked, for something. And so if the marketing team and the legal team needs you to both at the same time and everything, you join a legal team, but your AI agent can also give updates to the marketing team that is based off a knowledge base of the information that you fed it, the projects you're working on, and the tasks that you completed, everything. It will be able to give those updates and everything as a virtual aspect of you. It's very much easier to do that via voice and everything. The virtual aspect of you, that'll still take some time. Everything. So having like a virtual representation of what you look like and things like that will take some time, but it's very much easier to do the voice side of things. Everything. I would argue, everything. It'll be so well if people who are joining the team for the first time or people don't aware it, they won't be able to tell the difference. They at least would like 2 to 3 meetings. Everything. And so they would just think it's that person, because what you're going to see is that virtual representation. Now it probably will say Angela's AI assistant, somebody like that, in the Zoom, but it'll come off mute. Everything. Now we're talking about functions. It'll come off mute. Everything. You retrieve information from the knowledge base, particularly off something they said. They just asked about Project Alpha, everything, and then it will go through the tasks and stuff today that Angela has done in the last 7 to 10 days on Project Alpha. Be able to summarize what she's doing, everything as an update. Respond to that via voice and go back off mute. Or go back on mute. Like this is
yeah. So I got a question for you. Like, how do you see it? You think about the Otter AI, right? Do you imagine in this world that you're talking about? Do you imagine like Otter AI being like a tool that's part of the agent, or do you imagine it being one of the personas of the actual agent, like it, interacting in that way for you?
Great question. If I'm Otter, I want 3% of this. If I'm Otter, my whole enterprise strategy is shifting towards making sure companies we're building a private cloud infrastructure knowledge base and everything that is for for these companies only and everything. And so that part right now has nothing to do with voice and everything. So the ability to be able to read TXT, PDFs, data sheets, complex data sheets and everything, the ability to work with their engineering team to train their particular knowledge base on what it's seeing and everything, and then how to communicate such information. I would focus it at if I'm an enterprise team and everything. And so to be able to do that, because then what you start to do, you basically start to now become a two product type of service or anything. Now, if it works and if it works really well and everything, if I'm a company, now I have a question of like, okay, do we still need Google Drive? Do we still need, watch this, Confluence? Do we still need this and everything? Well, we can use Otter and everything. And then the benefit on top of using Otter is the Otter now will have a function that pairs with the business agent infrastructure that they already built. Everything. And so the agent workflow, how it's going to function is it's essentially like a multi-agent, infrastructure and everything, but it all kind of comes back into one. And so the agent infrastructure it has the entire company knowledge base. Like I designed this workflow. I'm about to do it again. So it has the entire company knowledge base, like at a baseline and stuff here. And then it has organizations knowledge base. So this is marketing, legal, software engineering, things like that, because those information has specific information or specific data and everything. And then on top of that, you build the agents and everything. Now the agents and everything, agents have, multi-agent that has different capabilities and stuff in there. So now we're talking about voice, like we're talking about email. And then Richard, what you're talking about, especially with OpenAI just announced, the ability to write diagrams, the ability to update CSV files, everything. And so because it's going to go back to where the employee will have an agent assigned to them, where they're like they have a meeting in 15 minutes or anything, and they need to update a spreadsheet. So that person has done they've done the work, but they haven't updated a spreadsheet, and then boom. Hey, AI agent, can you go ahead and update the spreadsheet, everything for such and such, and boom, everything. It goes and does it. And then watch this. And if they can't meet that, even if they can't meet that meeting that's in 15 minutes, the voice agent, the Otter agent, whatever it's going to be, is still going to join the call and still be given the ability to give updates of what they just did.
Hey.
3% Otter.
There you go, 3%. Yeah, you know what? I'm trying to think. I'm not sure have we broken down what AI agents mean to folks. Like, what is it? I can do
I don't think so.
Little.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. So, for folks who are tuning in who may not know, and this is maybe a new subject to them, AI agents is essentially it's an autonomous system that has the ability to receive data, make decisions, and act on its environment to achieve a specific goal. Now, I think what we talk about, like acting on your behalf, that could be the specific goal. Doing the thing that you need to get done could be that. The agent's environment is everything that the agent can access that isn't itself, right? So an agent also has the ability to use tools, and tools can be anything, right? It can be an API, it can be running a command on a system. It can be lots of things. And companies like Anthropic and OpenAI have created like integrations that they've created integrations that show that allow you to easily connect tools that exist today into an actual AI agent. And on the Anthropic side, they call it MCP. What does it stand for, Adrian?
Model Context Protocol.
Model Context Protocol. I think on the OpenAI side, they just call them OpenAI like functions. I think that's how they do it.
Yeah.
But I think Anthropic right now has the
Yeah.
most complete version of that integration where you can just get something like, say, access to GitHub or your Jira and put an MCP in front of it and have
Mhm.
it easily connect to your agent that you're going to have perform for you. Yeah, so
Yeah, and that used to be
that's
a lot of coding before. That used to be a lot of
yeah.
manual
Okay.
process. So if you wanted it to send an email, it's the LLM is not going to be able to do that for you. But what you could have it do is execute a function for you, and those
Yeah.
functions would be written by you, and you can give it the parameters, what you want to pass to the function, and then off goes your email.
Yeah, and like I said, these specific goals. This is where it connects to what Marlon's saying here. You know, being able to be able to act on your behalf, being able to be your assistant, being able to be a temporary copy of you in a meeting that you don't want to be in. But yeah, that's it. Oh,
Yeah,
I think you're muted.
Yeah.
Marlon.
My bad. I'm
All right,
I'm off
cool.
mute now.
There you go.
Yeah, Emmett
Yeah,
there
but,
on LinkedIn, he had a question. He said, "What happens if the agent starts saying wild things on the call?"
So we were talking about that yesterday. It was like, what if the agent is in the call and starts yelling at the CEO?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
what if he contradicts the CEO in the middle of a meeting with facts or something? Like
Mhm.
that's a challenge. I
which I
think
think is
this
I think it's a part of the process too.
It's part of the process.
I don't know. I don't know about the yelling part, but I think the hallucination is still part of the process. Like we haven't figured out a way how to just
my
completely
question
remove that
is,
yet.
can you set the tone for the agent? If you can set the
Yeah.
tone for the agent, oh man, that would be great. If I can just have an agent come in a meeting and talk like a pirate, I would love it.
See, no.
I would like my agent to keep
This,
it real, personally. I would like my agent to be like, well, looking at the meeting notes from a week ago, we did already discuss this. And, Adrian already did provide you with this before at this time.
if they have virtual agents and somebody starts talking and you see your virtual agent do this. Like, whoa, no,
Lord, stop. Hey, I think I need to give my agent a little break, just stressed at the job,
Yeah, I unfortunately, I think the definition of wild could be multiple things. I think the definition of wild just could be just something just completely inaccurate. I think the definition of wild and everything could be, just kind of like just completely going off track and everything. So maybe you were in Discord talking about, the Lakers won and everything, and your agent comes in like, hey, so guys, score was 127 to 88. Lakers completely dominated. Like whoa, and so I think there would have to definitely be parameters. I think that's a part of the process, but I think it's a part of the building too as well. And everything. So
it's definitely a part of the building, and definitely we're gonna see it start maybe small, like maybe it's a voice message to you, not necessarily to the entire group. In the meeting or something like that until you can refine, because what you don't want is hallucinations, false information, and things like that. I think what Otter is doing is cool. Like it's kind of, they're attacking this from two sides. You have the sales agent along with the meeting agent. The sales agent is coming out later, and I think that is where that's going to be their bread and butter, because now we're going into the role of technical account managers at jobs. If you have an agent there assisting you with pulling up, how you're doing, maybe like little product demos and things like that, then it would make that technical account manager's job a lot easier. But because in order to do that role, I have friends that are technical account managers, and it takes preparation and a lot for each call. If you want to be a good one, you want to really track how your partners are doing, how they're using who you're the vendor for, like how they're using your products, track their progress along the way, and provide insights and give them improvements and better ways to do their business using your product. This could really assist that, which is I think really reaffirming to me about the current state of AI agents, in that it is supplemental right now. It's not really a replacement all the way. But going back to Otter and their approach, it's funny how the meeting agent isn't, I don't think it's available on all platforms. So you can't really do the meeting agent in Google Meet right now. I think it's specifically Zoom. For the sales agent, that's cross-platform, and that's coming out later. And it makes me believe that maybe the sales agent is going to be their focus, because they're more worried about, renew their clients or people that are using it doing the things that matter most. Because just a question to the group here: what is more important? Is it more important to have the meeting agent or the sales agent for a company? And given the use cases that we gave.
Look, watch this. Let me answer that with a concern.
Okay.
I'm concerned with the sales agent, because the sales agent infrastructure will all be heavily dependent on the company's ability to transfer set skill, knowledge, strategy, and things like that. Not all companies, majority of companies, are not good at sales. They're just repetitive pushers. And to have an AI adopt that, mentality, strategy, I think it's going to work backward first, and then figure out a way how to figure itself out. But it's also still dependent on, the company and everything.
Yeah.
And
the agent.
Well,
the
watch
actual
this.
Technical account manager. I'm sorry, the actual person. The
person. Okay, yeah.
Themselves.
Yeah, I agree. Because also, what's going to happen is Otter is going to start to collecting a lot of this data, and they're going to start to get things that work and start to kind of give best practices, for your agent. And it's just, I think it's the right company will definitely blow this out of the water. I think for the majority, it'll be a tool that will be used, but won't have the maximum benefit. Like, let's say like the top 1% or 10% or stuff like that.
That's right. I probably should close out this one so we can get to the next one. But let me just say, I think for the sales aspect, the fact they're going sales, I don't know. Sales are there's a huge technical part of sales, knowing the product, good documentation, or good knowledge base behind it. But sales is mostly relationships.
Yes.
Right. I'm not as someone who interacts with salespeople and things like that, I am not buying things from your AI agent. I'm not going to do it. It's just not gonna happen. I'm not gonna sit there and talk to your AI agent and get a purchase order set up. Not happening. Won't ever. And I think that's how most people feel. Because there's,
for sure,
sales are a little bit more nuanced. I can see maybe. So I still like Otter's thing was recording meeting notes and helping folks with that. Right, you're right. Sales is human to human. That's a very important piece of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was just saying that with Otter, their bread and butter is recording. Finding out who's speaking, finding the best, putting in the notes, giving folks good context of what's happening, right? And now they want to be helpful within the meeting and play an active role within it, which I think is interesting. I think it's novel. It'll be interesting to see how they're actually going to shape this to be useful, where people are going to actually really use it. But I don't know. This whole industry, we're everyone is metamorphosizing to a new version of themselves. LinkedIn is now not LinkedIn. Zoom is now the workplace company, right? So people throwing against the wall, see who can stick right now. That's the way I'm seeing it. So I'm
Also,
a
Zoom is one of the
reserve
companies that
judgment.
wants everyone. Yeah. To add in though, Zoom is one of the companies who want people back in the office though. Just so you know.
Okay. Well, how are you going to test your product?
Yeah, and shout out to the user who left a comment, Emmett. Little fun fact: I've been following him on Twitter for close to 8 years now, and it's great to see you still in the dev world. I think I was there from the very beginning, so it's really great to see you. Thank you.
So, Adrian, I see your fun fact, and I like to one up you and stuff. Everything. Emmett was also in the he was trying to get into the triage program and stuff at one point.
Oh, is that right? So we all know Emmett. Okay.
Watch this. I told Emmett to follow you and everything, to follow what you're doing and stuff and everything. Okay. You know, and so
no way.
Yeah, bro.
Oh my God, that's so cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I've been
world. We're all connected. All connected through Marlon somehow.
And to answer your second question, Emmett, the documents will be up to date on the back end. For a system like this, you would have to keep the documents up to date by updating the vector storage, which is a whole other process, which would be in the knowledge base. So yes, that is, they would stay up to date, but that would be probably a manual process.
Which we don't do a good job of keeping our document up to date manually.
Yeah.
All
right. So here we talked about here a little about voice and stuff in this aspect. I think let's stay on this train here of multi-model and stuff here. OpenAI just introduced yesterday. Yes, OpenAI introduced anything. Introducing 4.0 image generation. I say their image generation model now has been upgraded. It has the ability to follow character consistency, have text rendering and stuff in there. We all know that text has been an issue with an image and stuff for quite some time. You can upload and restyle your images, detailed directions and everything for your images, transparent layers, and so on. And so it said it has improved capabilities. They said that we have trained our models on the joint distribution of online images and texts, learning not just how to create images to relate to language, but how they can relate to each other. Combined with aggressive post-training, the resulting model has surprising visual fluency, capable of generating images that are useful, consistent, and context aware. Sekou, let's start with you, man. We'll go through this one real quickly. What's your thoughts here on this multi-model journey that all these companies are bringing us into?
I'm trying to remember. I feel like, was it you or someone else said it? I feel like OpenAI is like really good at being the second at things, right? Like,
okay.
Other folks came out with this ability to do this generation. I got on my, the iPhone has the image playground, which is it's not good. It's not good at all. And OpenAI, they come out with their product, and I tried it yesterday, and I realized I did it so quickly, it was almost forgettable in a way. I did it. We were talking about it when we were going through like the setting up the show, and I was like, wait a second, I use this thing, and I forgot what I did. I actually when I looked at what I did, I just typed in it's like 4 words: create a VPC architecture, just to see what it does. Oh, create a VPC architecture diagram.
What's VPC?
VPC, virtual private cloud. It's the virtual container that all of your cloud vendor products sit within. Inside of AWS, they call it VPC. Inside of Oracle, they call it VCN. It's different things, different places, but that's kind of this.
Yeah.
So I told it to do that, and it actually created a really good diagram. It created a diagram that was, this is without me actually giving instructions on what to actually put together. it created something it looked pretty dang useful. It looked like something that I could have kind of done myself. And usually, if you ask a image generation tool to do that, you get some weird artistic like version of what you
Yeah.
said, and like the results can vary. But the fact that it was so precise, it used the AWS icons. It knew that I said VPC, which is associated with AWS, used their icons, used the concepts of subnets, which subnets are, I guess they're universal throughout different cloud vendors, but sometimes they have like different naming schemes for things like that. But yeah, went through there and did. I was like, oh wow. Yeah, I think would you use it too, Marlon? Too, right? You were playing around with it.
Mhm.
Just to like go back to the topic of like this new innovation. What does it mean for us? Oh man, I am curious what I thought that originally that this would be something to just touch artists. And now as someone who is a engineer, like I'm like, oh wow, I suddenly have a use for a image generation tool and the way that I never thought I would. And I'm hoping that the Lucid and other folks, Lucid Charts and Figma folks are like, I feel like they might be having a hard time
Right.
today. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like,
I mean, take it as basic as creating a QR code.
yeah, you can create well, you can create QR codes. If you did not know QR code creation, you can just like create a QR code for this URL and it will just do it for you. That's like these are whole categories of apps that are on the App Store that are now gone. And I hate to say it, Open AI is now I can confidently say it is the Apple of our time.
Bingo. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Adrian, to you. I got a few points, but I want to hear you so first.
Yeah, I tried out the image generation on the new. Are we talking about the new Gemini image gen, right?
No, the
Or
OpenAI
4.0?
one. It just came the 4.0.
OpenAI one just came out. Okay, I've only tried the newest Gemini one, which was I think announced yesterday. And the one feedback that I have is it wasn't quite there. Which I asked it to do something a little bit more fancy, where I gave it a PNG image and I said generate a SVG. Generate SVG code for this image. And it got 90% there. Like it was so close that I would say that it wasn't something that I could use right away. But from like how good that I know that this is going to get and where it's going, I was really, really impressed. So yeah, and just a second, Sekou, I don't really think of image generation when I think of how I'm going to use AI. But when it comes to communication, which we all have to do, image generation is going to be a part of that along the way. You're either going to have to source an image or you're going to have to create a diagram or, things like that. If you're making a website, icons are going to be important, even in your demo products or demo sites and experiences. Logos for sure. And as bad as poorly performing as the existing logo generators and image to SVG converters that are out there, this is really reassuring. Like I really feel like this is a good move where they're going. And I'm only speaking about the newest Gemini one.
So here we go. No. My dog, he is super needy lately. Anyway, so couple different things and everything. I tried the new 4.0 image generation. It is a nice improvement and everything from the last model and stuff that it was building and stuff on there. So
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Sparks are coming.
Okay, trying to figure out how to work this. So I had the privilege to be on the call that I wasn't supposed to be on. It was basically with a well-known CEO in the AI world, and he was talking to a particular group that he's previously been a part of, attached to, and everything. And so I was a part of that call. A friend of mine sent me the link. He just told me to turn my camera off, and I can't ask any question, whatever. And in that, the CEO said, we're living in a world now where there are levels to building applications and companies and stuff. And so, if you are a level 1 application is something, quick that saves a user, 5, 10 hour, 2 hours of usage and everything, it's level 1. Level 2, means it could be days of time saving, but you also have a customer base, a small customer base, and you have a community. Level 3 is a larger customer base community, and they're going to use whatever it is you do. He said, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're building level 1 applications, we're going to wipe you out. Everything. So my mind, we've already seen this and everything. There's still services, websites, everything where you got to pay to get a QR code made. That. So that's gone. Now we're seeing, Adrian, what was the diagram platform that you just shared with Sekou like a week ago?
Eraser.io.
Oh, Eraser.io. Oh yeah, that.
We're talking about that's potentially gone.
Yeah, because speaking on them too, they actually have an AI interface where you can have them build a diagram, but that diagram was not as good as what Sekou did. I will say, having used Eraser.io, it's not on the same level. Their AI.
Yeah. Yeah, and so you're talking about that's potentially gone, and so
yep.
Here's something interesting. Everything I'll present to you with this type of execution, with this type of things that you can do. You can build a diagram, everything. Just Sekou, I think your prompt was like 5 words or something like that, and if you gave it everything, the question becomes, and this is very interesting. What happens to a company like Fiverr?
Well,
yeah,
that was against
that was the original. Was it image generation bot, right?
Or Mechanical Turk was a thing too.
You would go in and you say, "This is what I want." Create the image based off of my needs, and multiple people will go through and try to, provide that image for you. You choose which one you want. That whole thing's been short circuited by the fact that you can input this into ChatGPT and get something. I've been saying this to a lot of folks when I talk about AI. There's 2 camps of AI, right, that are looking at the world. There are folks that are looking at it say, it's not perfect. I'm not using it. It's not perfect, right?
Yep.
There's I feel like that more some of the folks are looking at this as a business and looking at the long game of it.
Treadmill.
And you know what? Sometimes just good enough that's the scary one. You don't have to worry about perfection. We're not perfect, right? If it's as good as the worst human, then that is when we have to worry about it. That's the problem. And what I saw is, hey, that was good enough. That was definitely good enough, and that would stop me from using a lot of things that are out there once this is more widely available. Yeah.
I got something to add to this too.
Yeah, remember too, that model generation was for GPT-4, right? Was it for Omni?
GPT-4. It was a 4.0.
So for Omni.
Yeah.
Is 4 Omni free?
That is free. I think this is free. Hold up. Let me incognito this real quick. I think this is free, actually.
That's a problem. You're talking about something a free or $20 a month tool, and everything where you can do a wide amount of tasks and stuff, things and stuff you help you with. Everything. This is an issue. Going back real quick, I know you got some Adrian. Going back to of like your example, Sekou, of like having it good enough, type of thing. I've learned this. You got two people who complain about Teslas and everything. If they're either strongly political,
it's probably
so
more
that
now.
look, they're either strongly political, to talk about the car itself and everything. So like the car itself, the other person has on it. They're either strongly political, or they just jumped on a hype train and they didn't do no research when they got the car. Everything. And so when you're talking about going back to what you just said of like having something be good enough, type of thing, like I've watched my Tesla in the self-driving aspect get better. Like just over, like literally just last week, I was going through a residential area, and it's never done this. At least to for me, it's never done this. Anything. Something like speed bumps is not on maps. Yeah, it doesn't show on the maps. Anything and stuff, right? So I've seen where my car was just like as if it's not there. And last week it slowed down for the first time over the speed bump. Everything that was coming up. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Okay. That's cool. And everything. And so it's just that aspect of getting better, or good enough or anything. But across the board if you're talking about, if you're talking about, computer vision aspect and everything with like self-driving and everything, or if you're just talking about image generation, like that, it's not just, I don't even believe we're at a place no longer where it's like good enough. I would argue is that we should be concerned or even looking at how fast is getting better.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
How fast is getting better.
Yeah, the duration of time that this has improved. Remember, what was it? When did this whole ChatGPT 2.5 has been around for a good amount of time, right? Dolly's been around for a little bit. But when this all really started getting some gas, a lot of money started flowing, what was that, 2023? It was like November 2023, around that area, right?
So, are you talking about the launch, or are you talking about the launch?
The launch of ChatGPT, right?
Well, 2022.
2022.
Yeah, it was the launch. It was November. It was November 2022.
Right. Yeah, November 22. Yeah.
That was. I remember particularly because that's when Facebook announced Galactica, which was their version of ChatGPT focused on researchers, and the research community said, "Hey, this is not okay. Shut it down." And then 3 months later, OpenAI announced ChatGPT, and the world changed.
Hilarious how it works, but like, we've progressed pretty far. There are more organizations interacting with, AI systems. Well, at least I would say more companies. So, I live in the Bay Area, right? I'm a little bit of a bubble, right? All the companies that I interact with, like, have some integration or doing something with AI or tweaking with it or doing something with it in some shape or form, right? But it doesn't actually represent the rest of the country. But I feel like Silicon Valley is definitely like this area. We have folks have like caught up. They're starting to at least use it. They're not at the point where they're doing AI agents and things like that. But like, I feel like we're slowly inching in this way where, the reality we talked about having your own AI agent itself for you as an individual that's set up for. That's the end of the year. That's before the end of the year. That's going to be happening at organizations. I guarantee it.
I mean, OpenAI announced they got 400 million weekly users.
Yeah.
Ooh, that makes sense.
400 million. There's 327 in the US.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like that's all, the US or anything. This is definitely like, worldwide and everything, but they have 400 million weekly users. I don't think we're at a place right now where you have not heard about widely across the US that you have not heard about AI or ChatGPT. Now, if you're using it, that's a different story. Or if you're using it properly advanced, so okay, those are different levels stuff for sure. But I don't think we're at a place anymore where you have not heard about it. Everything. Now it's all about. I don't even think it's about the knowledge and awareness stuff anymore. Now it's more. Now we should be focusing on the uses and the advanced uses, particularly for individuals that don't have the technical capability to build a full-out system for themselves.
And that's what I want to touch on. That's what I want to touch on. Is that topic right there?
Yeah, go ahead, Adrian.
Okay. Because you mentioned something earlier too, and that's about you having built something that was Otter before Otter. You know what I mean? And then presenting it. Where we're at now is that developers are going to have to be comfortable with becoming product people all the way. So whereas before you could throw together, not even thrown together, really, thoughtfully put together a solution for a company, and then that would be enough, that would suffice. But I mean, I know it. I know it. Bring it back to Miami, but like, and I know it. We built,
everybody knows it.
Everybody knows it. there have been things that people have needed that we have built for them, and then we have seen something debut or something, a news story about an acquisition or someone selling or making a new company that does specifically that, and you're like, wow, I made this, in a cave with a bunch of scraps. And now we're so I think that going back to the fiber conversation, it applies also to the developer community as well. You are going to have to be more comfortable with building fully fleshed out solutions, because if you don't, then AI is going to eat your lunch, I think. So at my job, I'm using it to cover that gap a lot of the time. So a lot of the hard work when it comes to module selection, when it comes to, the approach, system infrastructure, how I'm going to build something, that's the hard work that I do. But getting this to the finish line, I use AI to, be my booster rocket to get me to the finish line a lot of the time. And I think I would be, really at a loss if I didn't use it, because it is that effective.
So I just want to piggyback on this a little bit, because I feel like, maybe the last couple of years, maybe the last 4 years, there's been this gradual shift from engineering to be more product-minded, product-thinking, product-driven engineering, right?
Or at least partnerships, more partnerships.
Well, not just that, but like taking the concepts that how products are actually developed, creating what's it called, product requirement docs, like the engineers creating product requirement docs, PRDs, themselves, integrating more of the things that were connected to OKRs are also part of that product, world and things like that. And shout out to, like, I've had some really good mentors over the time. Like, shout out to Trish Mills specifically on this. It's kind of helped me actually go from just having the systems thinking part down to fully locking and integrating that product piece of that. She's definitely helped me with that. I feel like engineers right now who have gone through that phase are ready for this moment.
Yeah.
You have the tools on both sides of this. If you've gone through the phase of connecting yourself to knowing how to create a product, this is another thing, going over and learning how to survey customers to understand their needs and things like that, and doing that part of product, which engineers used to be so far removed from.
And repellent too, like something that we just don't want to do,
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's still, I think there are places where that is still a thing, but a lot of organizations that I've seen have this integrated down to like your lowest IC level all the way to the top. It used to be just like maybe the top folks, like the leaders, have this process, but the engineers at the bottom are just using screwdrivers and moving things back and forth, right?
Yeah.
But now it's integrated down to the bottom now, which is like, I feel like folks are ready for the moment. That's why I think that this workforce that we have now, if we're able to like deal with the good enough part of AI and know that it will gradually progress to a better place, I feel like folks are able to latch on. And of course, folks that watch this podcast, we know that you're already in that club. I think you're going to be well prepared for this future that's coming.
Particularly if you join the Discord. Anyway,
yeah.
I would say this is one thing I've learned during this time period. In the lane of artificial intelligence, I believe the hobbyists will become the lobbyists. So in this area, everything, the ones who are, the ones who are building for the fun, the ones who are building for curiosity, the ones who are building to learn everything, I think will eventually become the leaders and stuff like this, because you're going to learn so much, everything where integration, implementation, structure, advancement, you'll learn so much. And honestly, like I say it all the time, like I think that's been literally the only reason I've been able to predict so much and understand like what's coming, because I'm still in that hobbyist phase and everything. And I build to learn. And so when somebody like Otter comes in and say, hey, this is what we're going to have and this is what's going to go on, I know exactly the structure. I understand what they're building. I understand what the next steps and stuff are, how to advance and all these things, because I've been a hobbyist. I've been having fun, and stuff in this area. And so, I think we're definitely approaching. I think we're approaching a world where the people who really, really enjoy, like, it can be the image generation, it could be the agent building, the flow. You're not gonna have a fighting chance to compete with these people. Everything and stuff and everything for those top roles, positions, and everything. They're gonna start their own companies and stuff, whatever it may be, just because they're doing it, like for the fun of it, or for the love of it, everything. And so I think it's going to be very interesting and everything as we advance stuff more.
Yeah, agreed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. With the point you said, Sekou, you made earlier, you said, I like what you said. You said you feel like OpenAI has now become the Apple and stuff for our time. And when you are the Apple of your time, you got to take on things like lawsuits. So Apple faces lawsuits over Apple Intelligence advertising. Says Apple is facing federal lawsuits alleging false advertising and unfair competition related to promotion of the delayed Apple Intelligence feature. The suit claims that Apple's marketing misled consumers about the capabilities and availabilities of these AI-driven features, including an enhanced Siri, which has been postponed significantly. The lawsuits seek class action status and financial damages for purchasers of devices marketed with these features. Adrian, let's start with you. Anything? The big boys are taking the big lawsuits.
I'm gonna just say I saw it coming. I saw it coming. I told you guys. I told you, because I felt that when they debuted Apple Intelligence, where's Siri? Where is Siri in this conversation? You already have this team that's been developing this product for decades, and then now you're going to switch over to a completely different product while keeping and maintaining Siri. It seemed muddled. It seemed confusing about to me with their approach. And it's so funny that we're just coming off of you mentioning, Marlon, how your Tesla is getting smarter, as you're driving. That was the promise here. The promise was from Apple, you can get this phone and we're gonna hook it up later. We're gonna give you this and RabbitMQ, throw them into the mix too. The upgrades, the features are gonna come not RabbitMQ, sorry, just RabbitMQ's databases. But that
Mhm.
rabbit, the rabbit.
Oh, the
orange
rabbit
guy.
one. Yeah.
Hey, they're banned from the show. They continue.
It's not a good way to if you are not on time with the rollouts for what you're promising, that's not going to really give the consumers a lot of confidence. It's not. And it's, and it just brings up the questions for me. Where is Apple in all of this right now? Like, are they able to keep up with the AI race, with what other people are doing? Because we got, we got Alexa making music now. We got new models coming out from OpenAI and Google, and there's a lot. So we got Amazon, we got the other big players. On top of that, we got Sergey Brin saying, "Hey, look, y'all got to work 80 hours a week." You know what I mean? They're on the grind. They're like, "Look, we got to grind here. We have to do this." And that's a whole other discussion. But like, other people are really taking this very seriously. And is Apple able to keep up with it? And I also want to throw into the mix that Tim Cook from Apple, I think he has an upcoming conference in Shanghai. And he was just on the news over there, looked like, "Oh man, DeepSeek, that's great. DeepSeek is so good," and just kind of, give it a little glowing review. So it's like, what's going on here? What's happening? I want to know more of the story. So that's what I have to say.
All right. I have a lot to say. I got a lot to say. I got to jump on this one.
All right.
So let me start from backwards. So DeepSeek, it means thinks there's more good news for Apple than maybe folks are realizing, because there's models run pretty decently on Apple hardware, right? Mm-hmm. Especially the ones that are re-encoded to run on the M1 chipsets using, there's like a M1 transformer. I think we talked about it a couple episodes, but yeah, I think DeepSeek means more for them. The fact that they can probably just take it apart because someone they made it open source, so they can just recreate their own things like that. And I'm sure someone is working on something like this. That's the only way they can really kind of compete. They have to come out with their own model, right? They have to come out with their own model that is optimized for Apple hardware, that is using something that isn't like thinking about NVIDIA GPUs at all, and is using their integration. So I think one of the things that actually came out of this article is that they replaced the person who was running Siri with the person who's running Vision OS, the person who created Vision OS, the person behind that. And I thought that was interesting. So, I have a Vision OS. I am a proud owner of this hardware. It is super useful. I use it every single day. Not the, I don't need to become Apple affiliate or anything like that, but just saying, I'm happy that person is there. I don't think everyone is happy that the person is connected to this product that hasn't actually got mass market appeal is going to be connected to this future, which is also, brings actually some additional doubts here. But I don't know. I feel like this lawsuit, it makes sense because they put Apple Intelligence, and it's everything. Every commercial had Apple Intelligence, right? Every commercial had Apple Intelligence, and what we ended up getting are tools that actually don't really work very well at all. And the things that they said that it can do, that they dreamt up and said once it's here, like they're saying like 2026, like that's no good. So yeah.
So my spider senses was tingling, everything as soon as this conversation started. And I said, when is the last time Apple did anything with NVIDIA? Okay. Quick little Google search. Just a few hours ago, Apple has announced Apple joins the AI data center race. It says Apple will be placing orders of about $1 billion of GPUs. Everything it said that's going to equate to about 250 servers at 3.7 million, $4 million each. It says Apple is working on the server builders for Dell Technologies and super micro centers in a large server cluster to support generative AI applications. It officially is in the large scale cluster of GenAI game, and it's a key server, and it will be in a key server partner. While we are still gathering for the context, this appears to have potential to be the GenAI LLM cluster. Okay, so you know, my spider senses was tingling and everything. Who's having this conversation?
Shout out to Super Micro,
right? And
so Dell. Wow, that's it.
So watch this. Here we go. I said some time ago that typically Apple, what they do is they partner, and then they build themselves, everything. Yeah. And you know they've done this several different times. You know, throughout their lifespan. You know, they are partnered with a company to get set feature, service, and stuff out and everything, and then they will build it themselves and everything. So it seems like they are fast tracking the partner aspect and everything. They was like, okay, cool. Partnership doesn't like it's going to have a lasting value, and so they are fast tracking to build it themselves. And this is the results of build themselves as they are prepared to now spend $1 billion everything in GPU infrastructure and stuff. You know, here, and so which is good, which is good news, at least good for them. You know, and stuff and everything, and so. Yeah, we'll see, you know, and stuff, you know, what they do. Yeah, you got some additional partners and stuff there. But you know, I felt like they should have started this 2 years ago. You know, I feel like they should start this 2 years ago. I feel like they were trying to figure out other things, you know, maybe trying to save Apple TV. Anyway, and stuff. And so, but yeah, I feel like they should have started this 2 years ago. But this is where we just talked about earlier. This is a level 3 company, and so they have the community, they have the customer base, they have the community base. You know, they have the Apple ecosystem, and so even if they're getting to the game 2 years late, they still had the potential to dominate in set areas, just because of they have such a a universe of stuff here and everything. And so I think the thing is now they have to figure out what area they really want to build and kind of like maximize in. I don't. If I'm Apple, I'm not building a ChatGPT competitor, type of thing. I would definitely lean on the Siri becoming your everyday assistant. That can connect to things like ChatGPT and your email and all different things like that. But if I'm Apple, that's all I focus on. I'm not building probably anything else or anything. I'm not building Apple Intelligence for Apple Mail only. I don't care. Stuff and so even the image generation stuff, the emoji generation, just like things like that. And so Apple, Sekou just said, Apple loves being second and everything. And so, yeah, it's the same. It has been a strategy for quite some time and everything, particularly like with companies like Samsung. They will allow them to go build these extravagant features. Let's zoom into on the moon with your camera, and they'll kind of sit back and wait to see what's working, what's not working, what the customers like, what they don't like. Are they using these features repetitively, and then they'll go, building stuff afterwards. And so, I think they did a misstep here, but make mistakes. And so, but I think for sure if they can focus on Siri, in this element, or even rename it, which I also think wouldn't be a bad idea, and kind of get it ready for the world to take in having a virtual assistant in an everyday construct. I mean, you gotta be able to do so. I mean, Amazon's working on it.
Yep. Yeah, I believe they can too. And that news definitely is reassuring. It makes me think that, okay, they got their the wheels are turning in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said to me years ago that there are no more new ideas in the world. All the ideas that we are all living off of are remixes of different ideas mixed together to create new shapes. But like you can always point to an origin story for them. There's very few times a new idea is actually born. Right. And I think Apple is so good at being an artist and putting the different aspects of ideas that people have done good in, and because they have the capital right now, they can do that. They can just go deep in. The Vision Pro is a good example of it. Like they created a new category on top of a category that's already created. There's now a high-end market for these Vision Pro. Like they look literally like clones of this thing now, which is hilarious. Just like 6 or 7 of these things that now exist that look just like the Vision Pro. Yeah,
that's wild. Okay,
it's crazy.
I mean, the same thing happened with the Apple Watch and the AirPods.
Yeah,
they weren't the first, but they made it the best. That everyone wanted to use them as the blueprint for what they make. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm not selling my Apple stock.
And that's why they can afford to lose. And that's why, with the Apple TV thing, Marlon, that, they can afford to lose $1 billion a year on this platform. You know what I mean? On that, they lose $1 billion a year. And this little trash talk here, that Severance finale, that's not making up the billion. That ain't helping anything to your bottom line. That was not it. That was not it. You're gonna have to drag me back to that show after that.
And it was funny. It's like, so this is what I've learned with like the streaming services. Netflix, you go to find something to watch.
Yeah.
Apple, you go to that something you want to watch specifically.
Yes.
It's never let me browse.
No.
Yeah, you've heard of a show, you saw a commercial. I would argue probably the same thing like with Disney Plus. Everything like I'm going straight to the Marvel category in Disney Plus. For me and everything, or I'll lean into National Geographic as well. But Netflix, you'll browse to figure out what to watch. Apple, you're going straight to something, everything. And so, which is also could be one of their issues.
We got to talk about that more later. We got to talk about that aspect of the different streaming services and how you use them. We got to do that. We got to mix it up about that. I just want to have a personal conversation because I never heard it put like that. And that is so true.
Behind the scenes.
How I browse the different streaming services.
Yeah. Behind the scenes. Yeah.
Yeah, I would argue even Amazon Prime, you stream more than you do on Apple TV.
Yep.
I mean, you browse more than you do. You browse more than you do on Apple TV.
I don't know. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Let me see if Marlon has my house bug.
So
check this plant over here. It's like, oh, 35% more at the time.
Oh man, we are technologists over here, so really. All right, here we go. Speaking of Prime and stuff, there, Amazon has introduced a feature allowing Alexa users to generate personalized songs through voice command using AI technology from the company Sono. This collaboration has sparked backlash from the music industry with accusations of Sono AI models have used copyrighted materials without authorization to create new music. The Artist Rights Alliance has petitioned Amazon to terminate said partnership, arguing that it is undermining the creative ecosystem by allowing AI-generated music to compete with the original works without compensating creators. And Amazon spokesman stated that their services, including Sonos, respects the rights of artists in right holders and stuff in this area. Actually, I'll start with this one. This is always challenging, for me because I understand both sides. But I will say the music industry is never innovative. Even down to how they push set artists. They will find the creativity of artists and then capitalize on it, or they will push an artist to be more like another artist, and then capitalize on it. And then in the aspect of technology, what they do is they sue partner. Sue and partner, which is also meaning the music industry is consistently and always at a standpoint of defense, which is also mean they're always going to be behind the curve. They're just simply they're continuously playing defense, and so I mean, it's always companies outside of the record labels that are doing the innovation. So like Suno and everything, we can take it all the way back to Napster. Now we have, Spotify. Spotify. We talked about that. I think it was last season where Spotify it will put together a playlist for you from a prompt. And so hey, about to have a few people over. We're about to play, spades and everything. Give us some music and everything to jam out so too. And so kind of create a place and stuff for you. And so it's always the people outside of the record labels, the core of the music industry who are doing, the creation and stuff and the creativity of this aspect. And so I get it. I definitely don't want the creators, the artists and everything to be kind of taken advantage of, but you can argue the music industry is doing it already for them. And that's not funny. Yeah. And stuff. And so, yeah, I don't know. I think this is also an opportunity for the artist and the creator too as well, because now you have the ability to put out, more music, and particularly build. I mean, it's the same thing of like we're doing with ChatGPT. It's like, now I have the ability to have ChatGPT assist me at things that I'm not good at, or that I might not have the knowledge or information stuff how to do. And so now using Suno, where you may be a lyrical person, but just have no clue or anything how to make beats or anything, the consistency and stuff of it, the tune stuff of it. Now using some of these platforms to kind of like meet the gaps or they close the gaps of what you're doing to output creation. It's the same thing we do in ChatGPT, stuff, these other tools every single day. And so I understand, everything. You definitely don't want the taken advantage of type of thing, but it's the same conversation of individuals who, feel like their material, their information has been put into OpenAI's LLM and everything. Like, I don't know. I get it, but it's like, man, you got to play offense and stuff here to win into this world and stuff that we got to, live in. And so, if you can figure out a way how to do both and everything, play your defense and everything, making sure you're compensated, playing those factors as well, getting your lower stuff involved, but also too, on this side, playing offense and everything. And so partnering, with something like Sono to create, music faster, quicker, more better, efficient, whatever it may be, everything, and putting out more content, I think it can be a win-win instead of just a defense.
Yeah,
absolutely agreed.
I feel like this is your Adrian. I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah, I'm in the music biz. So y'all didn't know I'm head of engineering at DistroNation. We do distribution across digital distribution across all streaming services for independent musicians and music and record labels as well. So this topic is a little sensitive to me. However, I'm the more that I think about it, I'm coming out on the other side of it, where I really do. But I'm a fan of this. Like, I think that it's not a bad idea to have this Alexa integration. And I also want to think just before I forget, I had a conversation with Michael Stover, Big Stove, about this when we met in Atlanta. Shout out to Mike. And he was talking to me about how he was using AI in the music creation process. And he played music for me that sounded nothing short of refined, polished, catchy, good. You know, it was good stuff, and different genres as well. Now, this is kind of cool for me as a consumer. As a consumer, let me just take the professional hat off for a second. As a consumer, as I'm putting on background music, I have a record player. I often go to YouTube though, and I try to find a playlist that is going to just fit the mood. Like, say it's like weekend cleaning the house. Let me put on something. If you use either Spotify or you use YouTube for playlists and things like that, it can get repetitive after a while. It can. And as well, there is content that maybe wouldn't be suitable for my son. If my sons are over, if I get my nephew over, it's not going to be right for them. It'll be good for me, but not for them as well. The ability for me to put on, because I like to use music for productivity, for just to fill the space in order to get something done in the real world. So if I can go in and refine the type of music that I would like to hear, I would use that all the time. And this approach actually reminds me of, or this whole the whole situation with Alexa AI song generator or whatnot. It reminds me of this musician named Brian Eno, who made an album called Music for Airports, which was the first album that was ambient music, I think. And when it came out, there's a documentary about it online on YouTube, I think. But he just talked about this idea of music that wasn't music. And if you go and listen to this album, it sounds AI generated. Like you could perceive this as being AI generated, but it was decades ago. So in short, I find it interesting. The music industry is going to be in an uphill battle just because that's just the nature of the beast, just like you said, Marlon. However, I will say what they can do is invest in artist development again. Start to do that again. If you
who is they?
The music industry. Because right now, I feel like the business model is capitalizing on viral trends. If a song is popping online or on social media, then we're going to get you a record deal to take advantage of the audience that you're bringing to the table. But at the same time, you know it, I know it. This music is disposable. It's disposable a lot of the time. It was good for that trend on that viral video, and it became catchy for that. And less is put into developing the creativity and the uniqueness of a new artist, a new musician, and finding a place for them to be productive. Now, this has all kinds of other ethical considerations that need to go hand in hand with this. We're coming off of the Me Too movement. We're coming off of the Diddy documentary, and also what we found out was going on at that camp that Missy Elliott and Timbaland was at, where they had just bodyguards and all that. Oh my God, guys, this was on. I think it was Unsung did a documentary about it. That series.
Oh, I missed
about the Devontae Swing accelerator that took place. I think it was in New York, but Missy Elliott and Timbaland was in bunk beds there making music all the time. And then basically whoever was in charge was taking that music and giving it to the artists that were popular and not really compensating them while they were making it. So this is a dirty business. It's a dirty business, but if someone decided to come along and do it the right way, I think that is the way that they could be successful.
Hold on, real quick. Let me jump back in and stuff here because I'm seeing two worlds be created in front of our eyes. Last week we talked about, or was it last week or week before? I don't remember. We talked about the issue with Google having this AI mode with no communication to small businesses on how to do this. I'm seeing this kind of being in that same category with what Amazon is doing. So what I'm now realizing and stuff as well is Google's gonna be Google, Amazon's gonna be Amazon, the music industry is gonna be the music industry, everything. And so one of the questions consistently always comes up is, okay, well, will AI create more jobs and things like that as much as it takes away? The answer is yes, comma, if you go do it, everything. Because now in this aspect, you have a company, I would argue something like United Masters, who promotes and helps people become artists become more independent, everything. You have something like them where if I'm United Masters, guys, I want 3% of this too if you do build it. If I'm United Masters, like I am partnering with Suno. I am partnering and everything, and I am pushing creators and everything, and creating like an accelerator type thing to help them build and showcase more music. And then, if I'm United Masters, I am having somewhat of a music network type of infrastructure to help promote and get this music out that is independent, AI generated, created, whatever it may be, and feeding that funnel back to the creators, too as well. I mean, this is the reason, it's one of the reasons Patreon exploded, and stuff. And so you create that type of infrastructure that pushes back to the creator, because now we're definitely advancing more into a gig like infrastructure and universe that where these type of things can thrive. So now you're talking about a marketplace / streaming service where you can build, where it is all creator based, independent, and AI generated songs for an entire platform.
Yep.
Like, bro, what the like? Come on, like you're talking about that Drake fucking AI song now goes back to this new platform and everything, and it's number one on the charts and everything. They get compensated and everything. If you really want to do the shit the right way, put the shit on the fucking blockchain too as well. Watch this, put it on the blockchain, make the blockchain public, and make it simplified from a user visibility standpoint, so the fans can see how much they are helping set favorite creators. Because we do the same fucking thing on Patreon.
Here. I second that all the way. Let's get them off of these models, get them off of these streaming platforms that pay them pennies on the dollar.
I'm starting to get bored with these fucking ideas, guys. So what are we gonna do?
However,
like we can go like this. I'll be honest. This is one of my largest problems as we're going into this world and everything. I understand what needs to be built and across multiple different sectors. Everything. I would argue, being early is just as wrong as being too late. Everything.
Yeah.
And in a lot of these areas, I've been very much too early, and stuff in things in his area. And I understand a lot of these things and everything. And so I'm gonna be honest with you as well. Call it ego, call it attitude, whatever. This is probably why I also make the decision to stop interviewing. Sekou said something to me a couple years ago, and it bothered me every fucking since. Sekou said, Marlon, the world doesn't understand AI at the level that you do. What makes you think the people whose interviewer is going to understand that? That has bothered me every fucking since, because I'm not about to join your company and be put underneath some people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about and understand what they're doing. MailChimp. I'm still mad at that and everything. But then you want to go fire the people because you don't fucking understand it, and everything. But you want to take all their ideas and everything, kind of the same thing we're talking about and everything. No, fuck that. I'm gonna go build the shit and stuff for myself to the best of my ability and everything. And so we're starting here with AI with Friends. We may start a fucking AI with Friends, infrastructure, and a department where we start building and putting out services tools our goddamn selves, because clearly a lot of you guys have no fucking clue what the fuck you're doing and what we're talking about.
feel like we're already doing it.
Yeah.
You know, we're just producing this show for the folks that are listening and producing this show, putting this together.
And another thing, no,
AI plays such a huge role. You know, we talk about having agents for your business. We have, you know, LMs that we have to interact with just to have additional, not to have to, you know, have tons and tons of staff just to get this moving and getting this to look the way it's looking right now. So, you know, we're innovating in motion. That's what we're doing.
Always
Moving forward.
And I want to go back on something I just said previously, and that's about the idea for the record labels to like what they should do. I still want people to stream. It is my business. So yes, still come to Distro Nation for all your streaming needs. However, if there was pressure on the other side in order for them to raise these rates, that's what we need. And I'm gonna leave it because that benefits everyone.
Yeah. Okay, here we go, guys. Speed round. And close on stuff here. Disney collaboration has announced a collaboration with NVIDIA and Google DeepMind to advance robotics, as Disney is collaborating with NVIDIA and Google DeepMind to develop a Newton physical engine aimed to enhancing the realism and expressions of its robotic characters. Unveiled at NVIDIA's GTC developer event, this initiative is expected to bring lifelike robots to Disney's theme park, offering visitors interacting and immersive experience. It says, for years, Disney has pitched the idea of bringing these Star Wars-inspired robots to its parks around the world, and say they have been several controlled demos of the droids recently at South by Southwest 2025. Now, thanks in part of this Newton project, presumably Disney feels that the tech is ready and plans to showcase the robots at several theme parks locations starting next year. Did we have a conversation around Disney, getting into this AI, centric world? We talk about robotics and things.
I think we did, but it wasn't about robotics.
Yeah, it wasn't about robotics.
We did talk about their place for innovation. I think we were trying to connect it to Humane Pen, where that could have gone.
Oh, that's right.
Useful than where it originally went.
Yeah, Sekou, take us off.
Yeah, I can take us off here. I'm a fan. Disney it's a wonderful place. Add more. Just give me more reasons to convince my brother to allow me to take my niece and nephew out there. So
Disneyland is a wonderful place. So I agree. I think at the next stop, it is very expensive. Very expensive. And at every corner, they get money out of you when you're at the park. I want to add too. Let's introduce this to Showbiz Pizza and Chuck E. Cheese as well, and make those robots less scary. And No,
I'm not. No, I'm not a board. First of all, I don't like skinny Chucky. I don't like it. It's bothering me. It's giving sickly. I don't like it. Everything, and so creating that in a robot form is when you fucking terrifying. Everything. I don't like it. Everything.
Skinny Chucky.
The price of cheese went up.
Eggs are how much?
I actually don't think I've seen it. I just looked this up while you guys are talking. Skinny Chucky. I'm just.
Oh my god! It's terrifying. It's terrifying.
It happened after they went into bankruptcy too. By the way, not there's a correlation between bankruptcy and him losing weight, but
I don't like it. I don't like it.
You don't look good.
It's giving predatorial. I don't like it. It's like. I like it. Real quick. Right. No, I think this is dope. I think NVIDIA, as you guys talked about, they're playing with house money. Everything. So I think what's interesting about this announcement and stuff here with robotics, and also to their announcement that they announced that they're going to start partnering with GMC to start making self-driving cars, is it seems like now NVIDIA has, I would argue for like the past 2 years outside of their GPU and their infrastructure that they built and stuff like that. They're like that's their bread, that's their breadwinner. I feel like in the last 2 years, Nvidia has been, because they have the ability to do so, they've been playing with house money, kind of throwing paint against the wall just to see what happens, see what works, see what they can do, everything. And we've seen them kind of, do something like, oh, why would you do that? You do some other things. It seems like now they're getting more focused on what the application and what can really happen in advanced society, everything, and most different aspects. And so I think this, along with the robotics, I definitely see them as being one of the leaders in the robotics field. All right. And also too, with self-driving cars and just multiple different things like that, I see them stuff as being, in play. So yeah, I think this is interesting, to see what happens or anything. And at the moment we're talking about robotics, we're also talking about Disney, which means that eventually trickle down to seeing Marvel-like characters walk around these Disney parks. And so I would love to come walk through and seeing an Iron Man version, robot that are just walking and stuff there.
No, you gotta be a man in a suit though. As long as it has to be a man in a suit. Come on. Maybe it's assisted, but you gotta have a guy in the Tony Stark suit.
Well, you can have the what was the Legion? No, you can have the Legion. You can have the Iron Legion.
Yeah. Or Ultron. Yeah.
Or Ultron.
See, they should have came out with Armor Wars. Should have come out with Armor Wars. That would have been great.
Which also, Sekou, I did put a new resin file for Ultron in our shared folder.
We have a little 3D printing folder here. I think I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah, guys, if you guys are into 3D printing too, let us know. We might have to create like a little a channel stuff in our Discord talking about 3D printing. So that's our new thing. I've been on a mission of convincing all my friends to get resin 3D printers, and I am wildly succeeding.
And now you got my son convincing me too. My son, and he's like, "Oh yeah, all my friends got them." It's like, okay.
Yes,
all right.
I am on a mission. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Here, round us out and stuff here. The AI generated audio of Vice President J.D. Vance sparks misinformation concerns. A viral AI generated audio clip falsely depicted Vice President J.D. Vance criticizing Elon Musk has raised alarms about the potential for AI spreading misinformation. Raise alarms. This is interesting. The realistic nature of the deepfake underscores the challenge in distinguishing an authentic content from the AI generated fabrication, emphasizing that the need for robust detections and verification mechanism. Wow. Technically speaking, the audio sounds entirely believable. This voice sounds exactly like Vance, and the static in the audio sounds much like other secret recording audio of politicians that have been leaked in news organizations. As a reality defender notes, the added static also makes it more difficult to authenticate deepfakes detectors to recognize the audio as a fake. Everything. This is funny for me and everything. Adrian, let's start with you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. This is so interesting to me. I'm gonna say I don't know if it's really fake. I really don't, because I'm looking at the people who I'm gonna just put it out there.
That's hilarious.
Because if we are talking about science and something where it is not exact yet, I don't know if it's exact. If you can feed something into an AI system, the people that are we got the guy from Northwestern University, the computer science professor there. We also got the guy from the University of St. Thomas, who's runs the Center for Applied Artificial Intelligence. My question is this: everything is political. I do believe that AI systems and everything like that are this unknown black box to a lot of the public. Okay, and you can fudge the numbers and come up with a lot of assumptions that maybe aren't true. So in short, I will say that I am not sure about the credibility all the way of it being fake.
So real quick. I was like, this is today's version of I got hacked.
But this is coming with the Signal links, though. With the Signal stuff just came out with that chat got leaked with the secret information, and it's it's kind of it's looking like it's kind of loose going in there right now.
If an audio leaks, one's gonna be like, "Oh no, that was AI, that wasn't me."
Yeah.
So Sekou, close us out.
Yeah. So that's fine. I feel like this is like you already said it. Like this is the new I got hacked situation.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried like 11 labs. You can like clone your voice in like 10 seconds, by the way. I'm sure I should drop our affiliate link for that in the chat. But you can go in 11 labs and record, 10 to 30 seconds of your voice, and it can clone it. I played it for my wife the other day, and I was just to show her what this does. Like, had it like tell a story, and she was like, "So it sounds like you, but it doesn't sound like you." And the weirdest thing happened to me.
Uncanny Valley.
Like the Uncanny Valley thing did not happen. It did not happen because it wasn't realistic enough for me. Like when I try to like do editing for our podcast, oh man, I hate like hearing the sound of my own voice. It literally is like it's too much for me, right? But when I was listening to this, I was like, oh wow, this sounds good. I might set this to my I might set this as the voice for all my things. It sounds great actually. Because all the it tries to produce the ums, ahs, the inflections of your voice, but it's not perfect. And that's probably, I think, one of the best versions of that's out right now is what 11 Labs has for being able to clone your voice. It's good, but it's like not, you can tell. Let's put it like you can tell when it's not the original person's voice. Actually, you know what? If you folks join the Discord, I'll go ahead and I will drop in a recording of myself.
Yeah, Discord's in the show notes.
Yep. With me saying something and then having the AI say the same thing. You let me know which one is different.
That's good. We'll do a poll.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Which one sounds better? Which one would you prefer to convince you to hand over oxtails?
Hand over oxtails.
Have the oxtail lady.
I don't know. I think I'm still a little bit smoother than 11 Labs. It hasn't got that level yet. That's how you switch it up. So the oxtail test. That's what it is.
Oh man, that's funny. All right, guys. Here, man, closing down stuff here. Man, this has been another great episodes, man. Today, man, we discussed, Otter AI's voice activated meeting assistant that is coming to you guys soon, particularly starting off with on Zoom first, and then it will expand to other platforms. And then also too, we talked about Apple's lawsuit. Apple's lawsuit and everything, getting sued over people feel like it was misleading on Apple Intelligence, which as well. And then also to Amazon's new AI-driven music generation with Alexa, Disney's collaboration with NVIDIA and Google DeepMind for robotics, and then ethical concerns around the AI-generated voice of Vice President J.D. Vance with misinformation concerns. And so, guys, man, this has been another fun episode. Stuff here. Follow us on all platforms at AI with Friends podcast. So on all platforms, and you can follow me at I am Marlon Avery. Adrian. So closing notes and stuff here.
Another great one. You can follow me on Adrian at Adrian_Poupon on all platforms. Be sure to join our Discord, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, Sekou.
Yep, Sekou out, and you can find me on all platforms as Sekou the Wise One everywhere. Yep, definitely enjoyed the episode, folks. Join the Discord, keep the discussion going. Look forward to seeing y'all.
All right, guys. And until next time, we are out.
All right. Peace.
Peace.